Chapter 13. Isabella fought to conceal her panic as she watched Jack storm from the great hall.
"Brother Peter must be ill,"
she said to Hugh, maintaining a casual tone. Hugh stood and offered her his hand. "See that his needs are met, but do not stay away long." He kissed her hand. She dipped in a low curtsy and walked calmly from the high dais, despite how she longed to race after Jack, which is just what she did the instant after the door to the great hall shut behind her. She tore down the hallway and out into the courtyard. Scanning the shadows, she strained to glimpse his silhouette in the darkness.
"Brother Peter?"
she called when he passed under torchlight near the stable doors. He stopped, but did not turn around. She rushed to his side and grabbed his hand.
"You must allow me to explain myself,"
she said, pulling him into the stables. He followed her, but then jerked his hand free from her hold and crossed his arms over his chest. "You've already said enough." Torchlight from the courtyard cast a dim glow inside the stables. She could just make out the stony set to his lips and the hard glint in his dark eyes. She swallowed the knot in her throat.
"But I have said nothing. I could not speak to you, not in front of Hugh and my father."
He threw his hands up. "Of course you couldn't. How could the great Lady Redesdale condescend to address a commoner?" She grabbed the front of his robe and pressed herself against him.
"I dared not look at you or speak to you in front of them,"
she hissed. She held her breath, her heart aching in her chest. She stared up into his midnight eyes.
"I was afraid they would guess my feelings for you."
His shoulders and face softened. "Bella," he whispered, wrapping his arms around her. She leaned into him, her body flooded with warmth. "Bella," he said louder, his voice hoarse. He crushed her against him, his gaze boring into hers. "Say it, Bella." Her heart quaked. Breathless, she wrapped her arms around his neck and closed her eyes.
"I've fallen in love with you, Jack."
Her breath hitched when his lips claimed hers. She melted into his strong arms, his scent surrounding her. Desire burned through her veins, but her conscience fought against the flame. She pushed him away, shaking her head.
"Please help me, because I cannot."
He reached for her, drawing her back into his arms. "You can't marry him," he whispered, pressing his forehead to hers. A chill passed through her.
"But I do not wish to hurt him. He is my friend and a good man."
Too good," he growled, jerking away. The stony set to his face returned, causing her chest to tighten. But then he expelled a long breath. She watched his shoulders loosen. Slowly, he stepped back and leaned against the stable wall, closing his eyes. She ached to touch him, but her feet remained fixed to the floor. He continued to keep his gaze from hers. Her breath quickened. She fought to swallow the painful lump that had gathered in her throat. His eyes slowly started to open. He looked at her through half-closed lids. "I never dreamed of a woman like you. I wouldn't have dared." Shivers shot up her spine at the sight of his sideways smile. He took a step toward her. "As selfish as it may be, I want you to be mine." Tears stung her eyes.
"Then take me."
She gestured toward one of the stalls, her heart pounding in her chest.
"Steal my father's horse and grab me as you once did. Ride away and do not stop until we've reached the Highlands."
He refused her plea with the slightest shake of his head. Her hands flew to her face. She did not want to abandon her family, but she could not imagine a life without Jack in it. "Where is my Bella?" he whispered, gently tugging her hands away from her face. His soft question inflamed her desire. She wanted so much to be his. She gasped as his fingers stole beneath the edge of her wimple. A soft cry tore from her lips as he pulled, ripping the fabric asunder. At once, his fingers dug into her hair. He crushed his lips against hers. She groaned, wrapping her arms around his neck, fighting to bring their bodies closer, pressing into his hard strength while she savoured the taste of him. Then suddenly he tore his lips from hers. "I love you," he said, his voice hoarse. He cupped her cheeks between his hands and stroked his thumb across her lips. "Run away with me," he breathed. In her heart, she already had. Reaching up, she laced her fingers behind his neck.
"I choose love,"
she whispered.
"I choose you."
Thank you so much for watching. If you would like to enjoy more videos like this one, click the thumbs up button and subscribe to our channel. See you next time out in the Highlands.